Hi there, I'm really glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about something big, but in a really down-to-earth way. We're going to explore what the Bible calls the last things. That's the essence of what theologians call the doctrine of eschatology. Now, don't worry, it sounds heavy, but we'll keep it simple. We'll use everyday language, and we'll connect it to real life. So take a deep breath. Get comfortable. Let's dive in together. Let's start with a specific Bible reference as our anchor. We'll look at the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 7. It says something like, "The end of all things is near. Therefore be alert and of sober mind so that you may pray." We'll also glance at Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27. Just as people are destined to die once and after that to face judgment. And one more, Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away." These passages point toward the big theme we're considering today. Now let's unpack it one step at a time. Okay, so what is eschatology? The word itself is fancy Greek, meaning study of last things. But practically speaking, it's about how the story of the world ends, how human history wraps up, and what happens after. So let's break it down in easy phrases. Everything has an end. You know how your favorite TV show has a final season, or how at the end of the semester there's graduation. Life has seasons and endings too. According to the Bible, not only do individual lives end, but the world as we know it will reach a kind of end point. The verse in Hebrews talks about a person dying once, then facing judgment. So there's the end of individual life. 1 Peter says the end of all things is near. Revelation says the first heaven and earth pass away. There is a judgment. The Bible is clear. Life isn't just random or meaningless. The verse in Hebrews speaks of facing judgment. That means the choices we make matter. Think of it like submitting a final project or taking a big exam. There's accountability. The world wonders, why am I here? Eschatology says life has purpose and we'll be accountable. There is renewal, a new reality. Revelation 21 says the first heaven and earth pass away and a new one comes. That means that whatever's broken will be mended. It's like when you upgrade an old phone, the old one eventually stops, you trade in, and a newer version comes in. But much bigger than that, everything gets healed. Suffering, storms, anxiety, they don't get to have the last word. Urgency and hope. The 1 Peter verse encourages being alert and sober. That means take your life seriously, but don't be afraid, because this end story carries hope. It means the chaos doesn't win. There is a big finish that makes sense of everything. So let me say that again in a more conversational way. Picture this world like a book. We aren't at the end yet, but the ending is written. We'll go through chapters now. But the author has already planned the final chapter and the epilogue. And in that finish, messy stuff gets healed. Wrong gets addressed. A fresh start arrives. And how we live today affects that ending. Okay, time to bring this home. Let's look at how this plays out in real life, and especially in a Gen Z style context. You've likely experienced or seen friends at graduation. That moment says, this chapter is done. A new one begins. With eschatology, the Bible says individual lives have a graduation too, and the world we know will have a major transition. So when you finish college, you celebrate, maybe cry, maybe party, but you know life moves on. Similarly, the world moves towards something new. It gives meaning to what next. Think of the Marvel saga or Star Wars saga. The creators drop hints for years. They build characters, stories, battles. Then there's a climax and then an epilogue where a new normal happens. Eschatology says we're living in the build-up, but the climax and the new normal is coming. That doesn't mean just idle waiting. It means living wisely until then. And beyond the big cosmic stuff, there's daily change. Imagine you're working on a big personal goal, fitness, creative project, relationship repair. You know there's an end result you want, a healthier you, a finished album, a restored friendship. You live now in the process, but you keep the end in mind. Eschatology invites us to live like that, aware of the goal but present in the process. Many Gen Zers care deeply about reforming the world, climate justice, equality, mental health. Eschatology gives a lens. The world will one day be renewed. That doesn't absolve you of action now. In fact, it motivates you, because part of living with hope is working toward what will be fully realized later. When the new heaven and earth arrive, things like injustice, exploitation, loneliness They won't win. And you don't have to wait passively. You can contribute now. We live in uncertain times. Global economy shifts, climate anxiety, digital overload. The promise of something better ahead helps. It's like when you're stuck buffering on a huge download. Yeah, the wait is irritating, but you know the new game is coming, and it's going to be great. Eschatology says, for those who trust this story, there's something better ahead. Not just hope so, but actually coming. So here's where I invite you to reflect. Take a moment and ask yourself, what end story do I believe in? Do I live like the world ends in meaning or just randomness? How do I want to live knowing my choices matter, not just now, but forever? What broken places around me do I believe could be healed? Not someday maybe, but in this big picture that's coming. Am I part of making things better now, even if I can't fix everything today? And here's a friendly challenge. If you believe that a renewed reality is coming, then live accordingly. That means show kindness when it's not easy. Stand up for the overlooked. Give your resources, time, attention, voice, to things that align with hope, not just comfort. Because if everything will be made new, then your efforts, small or big, have eternal value, like planting a tree beneath whose shade you may never sit, but someone will, and the world will be better for it. Thanks for sticking with me on this journey. The doctrine of eschatology, last things, isn't meant to scare. It's meant to invite, to encourage, to say, this story ends well for those who live with hope and purpose. You don't have to figure it all out right now. Just keep living, keep trusting, keep loving, and know that what you do today matters in the big picture. Thank you for spending your time here. I hope this helped you see things more clearly. Take care. See you next time.